Hello to you. I'm Christina Munoz, and I have Judy Garrett here. Thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited. And we are at the Selene Memorial Weight Loss Center, where Judy is the bariatric coordinator.
Right.
And hey, maybe you're having lunch, maybe you just have a break and you get to ask us some questions, but you have all access to Judy for the next however long we're on here, and you can ask your questions. So this is pretty cool because this is the type of thing where a lot of people might go, maybe, is it for me, is it not? But there's always so many questions that you have in your head. This is your opportunity to ask Judy anything and everything. Nothing's off limits, right?
That's correct. I'm ready for your questions or your comments.
Ready for anything. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
And just a reminder that you absolutely can post on this Facebook Live any of your questions, and we will get them as they come in, and I will be asking her as they come in. So join us, participate, and anything that you think of. Like I said, nothing is off limits. So the Selene Weight Loss Center, just fill us in a little bit about what is it and what do you do here?
Right. So basically, as the coordinator, I oversee the program, and I'm usually the first person that anybody speaks to when they have the courage, because it takes a lot to make that phone call or do that online. Right. And so that is why we're called the warriors, because it takes a warrior spirit to step out and make that phone call. So once you get into this program, or once you call me and we talk about all the different options for you out there, you are literally you have a path. You will have a pathway here, and we help you all along the way. So, and answer questions. It does not mean if you call, we're automatically going to schedule you for surgery. It doesn't go like that, but at the same time, we hold on to you and help you through this.
Well, that's the thing, and you do the weight loss surgeries here, but that is only one possibility, and it may be right for you, it may not be right for you. So it really is a journey, and you kind of hold their hand through that journey.
Everybody's individual, so everybody that calls, it is just not right across the board. So, we do surgeries here, but we also do the non-surgical aspect of weight loss. So there's many different, you're right, Christina, many aspects of weight loss.
Now, something I find very interesting is a lot of different places will do these kinds of surgeries, but you guys have an accredited program. That's a really big deal. Kind of explain what it is and why it's a big deal.
Accreditation to me equals safe. So that means that different pieces are put into place so that, surgery can be it can be scary, and it can have its side effects to surgery. Things can happen. So we want to make sure that you have the very, very best outcome, and to do that there are several steps that happen before you have surgery. So we became accredited. That was something that Selene Memorial and administration really got behind this program, because without administration support this program would not happen. And so they got behind us, and they stayed behind us, and that is what we do, is keep everybody as safe as we possibly can.
And it can help financially too, is that right?
Right. There's different, when I always tell everybody, first thing, the number one question is my insurance going to cover the surgery? That is the number one thing when people call me. I always tell everybody, the number one thing you need to do is get your insurance card, call your insurance company, and see what is covered and what is not covered. We also have a very, very awesome staff over in the surgeon's office who does that research, and they will help you verify benefits too. But empower yourself and call your insurance company and see.
It depends on your insurance company, depends on your plan, depends on the coverage that you have.
Yes.
So it's a tough question to answer. If someone was going to get on here and ask that, there's your answer. Check with the insurance company first.
But I have to say this. Where are you going to be a year from now if you don't make the call and don't come in and see what is a possibility? Where are you going to be a year from now? So it's a great opportunity to get into an accredited program that are 600 strong right now, warriors.
Wow.
And so become one of them and be in that support with them.
There's a saying, nothing changes if nothing changes.
That is correct.
You gotta take that
is
first
correct.
step. So let's talk through these types of procedures, and I'm going to run through them, but then you can help us understand the sleeve, non-surgical or Orbera, gastric bypass, overstitch, lap band. You've probably heard of some of those, but maybe not all of them. Kind of take us through these.
So a non-surgical is the Orbera balloon. Folks are real interested in that. your BMI needs to be around 30. So it is not for folks who want to lose, say, more than 50 pounds.
Okay.
It is for the jump start. It is usually not covered by insurance. So we assist you with finding, financial ways to pay for that.
Okay.
It is a 1-year program. The balloon stays 6 months. It is non-surgical, but you have a whole year of a dietitian and the surgeon. Very successful
Okay.
if people follow the rules, if they continue to see the dietitian and the surgeon when the balloon is removed.
Okay, very good. And let's get into bypass, sleeve, lap band.
Sure.
How can you help us know the difference
So
between
the
these?
lap band is where they take a band to the very top of your stomach and put a band around it. They do not cut any of your stomach away.
Okay.
And then the next is the gastric sleeve. That's where we actually remove 70 to 80% of your stomach.
Okay.
And then you have the bypass, and the bypass is actually, I call it a rerouting. It is where they actually bypass some of your the stomach and all, to where you are not absorbing, and you do lose a vast amount of weight with that. But I also want to bring up folks who have had bypass in the past, sleeve in the past, and they have gained weight back. So we do something called the overstitch.
Okay.
And the overstitch is, there's really no downtime. You're not having to take off work. It is not a surgical procedure,
Okay.
and usually not covered by insurance.
Right.
But folks have a chance again to lose that weight. What happens is you had surgery in the past and didn't have that support. Now it's different. Now there is support out there when a person comes back in. So we do the overstitch or revision for those
Okay.
folks.
Okay, that really makes sense, and we'll talk more about that support in just a little bit. But outside of weight loss, what other health issues can weight loss surgery help with?
So we know for a fact that the gastric bypass is used as a cure for diabetes. A lot of people are surprised to hear that. The gastric bypass also is a cure for GERD. That's that reflux.
Yes.
So sometimes you might see somebody getting a gastric bypass and you automatically think, my 600-pound life, that type of thing.
Right.
But the gastric bypass is a great tool for people who have diabetes and GERD. And then you always are looking at diabetes. You're always looking at congestive heart failure, COPD, all of these health issues that we know for a fact goes hand in hand with us gaining weight. And we see people coming off medicines and getting knee replacements because, as you know, it's very, very hard to get a joint replacement if you are carrying an extra 100 pounds or so. So we see people getting their joints replaced pretty much every month. Somebody's getting a joint replaced after losing their weight.
It really comes down to quality of life.
Absolutely.
And instead of treating these illnesses that might be going on, if you get rid of that first issue, it may take care of all those other issues.
Right. We know Arkansas is second in the state for overweight. We also know that we're second or third for our kids in the 11th and 12th grade to have diabetes.
Oh.
So, it's preaching to the choir. We know we have an issue,
Sure.
but this program reaches out to, we're all over the state of Arkansas, and we actually have people from other states coming to us. So,
Oh my goodness,
I
when I found out
know.
some from Russellville, some from, all over the
Yes,
place. They
yes.
will drive to get here, but it's because it's not just surgery. Even if you get a procedure, even if you get one of these things, you mentioned the word support.
right.
So let's get into these warriors. First of all, what is a warrior? Why do you call them warriors?
We are so warrior strong that we stand so proud. Once you make that phone call, either if you had surgery or not had surgery, you are considered a warrior. Our support group started in my office with maybe 2 people there. And my brain, I'm just thinking, how can we help more people? What can we do? It was literally word of mouth that started. So now we're in a very much bigger facility, and we have 30 at a time weekly coming to our support groups. The standing room only sometimes.
Oh,
So
my goodness.
people who have had surgery even a year ago, 2 years ago, and y'all know who I'm talking about out there, continue to come to support group
Oh, my
because it's where you learn. and it's where you get support from other warriors. So we're warrior strong. There's no doubt about
Okay,
it.
shout out to the warriors that are on here. Give us a little emoji or jump
That's
up
right,
and down for
that's
us
right.
because we just thank you so much for being here. And like you said, there are surgeries other places. Maybe somebody got one 20 years ago, but if they didn't have that support,
Right.
it may not go well.
Our weight loss support group is free. We accept anybody that wants to walk through the store. You might have just had surgery or even planning to have surgery with another facility. You are welcome here. We want you here. We truly do. So there is no sign-up fee, no I want to come, but I don't know if I'm coming or not. You just show up. And we have welcoming warriors that are here. They're bringing you in, introducing you, making sure that you have a comfort level when you walk in the door.
Oh my goodness. I want to kind of repeat that because it's free and for anybody. So none of this, oh, my doctor's not there or I don't know anyone there, I'm not from there. None of that matters. You guys are here and open to help absolutely anybody.
That's right. That's
Who needs
right.
that.
That's exactly right.
So you have some very special warriors that have given you permission to share a little bit. And these
I have.
stories are so fantastic. I know you have your own story as well.
I do.
You've lost your share.
So I am a non-surgical warrior.
That's right.
And several years ago as a nurse, I had a really unsettling experience. I had a patient who did not want me to take care of them because I carried so much weight. And I guess they thought I wasn't smart enough or wasn't going to be able to do my duties that day.
Oh my goodness.
And something happened that day. And I did get on a weight loss journey, a Mediterranean way of eating, and I have lost greater than 200 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
So, and that was 19 years ago. So when I say I walk in your shoes, I understand it. I get it. From my heart, I get it. So yes, we have had great warriors come and share their story. We have one that we were just on
Yes,
TV
I got
with.
to meet Mr. Dorsey. He was so fantastic. And tell us a little bit about his story.
So Mr. Dorsey was literally at the point that he was having trouble getting around. He was having health issues. His weight was just getting, as he put it, out of control. And he had tried everything, every kind of diet. And he came to us and had a sleeve done. And Mr. Dorsey, when we saw him a couple of weeks ago, had lost 135 pounds. And he actually has inspired other warriors to play basketball, Mr. Dorsey.
I love that.
They are now getting into this basketball playing horse thing, and they're all throwing challenges to each other to get out and move. And he talks about it, that he now can get out and move, play basketball. He's got really high hopes to continue on and to keep his weight off.
He's so fantastic, and he really said, talk about life changing. I mean, you go
Life-changing.
down a road where you just quality of life isn't there, and now he's playing basketball.
Yep.
Loving every minute of it.
That's right.
So thank you so much for Mr. Dorsey for sharing your story, and I got to give a shout out to Sherry Thomas and Denise Dempsey because they're joining
warriors.
us. Warriors that are joining us, and Denise says, "Best thing I ever did for myself," and that's a quote.
And that is the truth. She has completely changed her whole lifestyle. So she is a true warrior. She
Oh, my
is.
goodness.
And Sherry Thomas just got the Warrior Quarter of the War.
Congrats.
Yes. And that is because she reaches out and helps other warriors, and that's what this is about: is finding that community of people who get you.
Well,
who
and I
understand.
love that you shared your story because there is a discrimination out there, and if you haven't experienced it, you haven't experienced it. You don't know it. You felt it. You know
Right.
what this is like, so
Right.
you can really help these people. Let's talk about Rebecca Garcia. Tell us about her story.
So Rebecca Garcia came to us, and she had severe reflux to the point of she could not lay in her bed. She had to sleep sitting up. Her quality of life just really, it wasn't very good. So Rebecca came to us and had a gastric bypass, and she is doing wonderful. People can't believe her pictures because, to begin with, if you saw her, you wouldn't think she needs a gastric bypass because, again, people think 600-pound life.
Right.
But hers was a true medical issue that she needed that bypass. So she came and saw Dr. Patton and had her bypass and has lost a lot of weight too. So she's doing very well. Yes,
Wonderful. And I
yes.
got to see some of those before and after.
Yeah, they're
pictures. It's
amazing.
just
They're amazing.
remarkable.
They
So,
are amazing.
way to go, Rebecca. All right, tell us about Tammy Atkinson. Her journey's a little bit different. So tell
It
us about Tammy.
is. So Tammy is one of our warriors that actually had surgery before.
Okay.
She had a procedure, and it worked at first. And then she started gaining some weight back, started having health problems. She found us, went on to have, we call them revisions. She went on to have a sleeve. And Tammy now, her whole life has completely changed. She believes in the surgery. She had it before. And you know, we never say failure because it's not a failure. It's a blip in the road.
Mm-hmm.
It is just a little crook in the road. And what is so impressive about the warriors is if something does kind of stall them, then they keep on looking for help, and that's what she did. So she laughs all the time anyway. She smiles and she's happy, but she has really done a good job with this second chance.
So what I really hear there is there's this visual or meme that has path to success, what you think it'll be like and what it really is, and it does all of this before it gets to success.
Right.
So you can really reach out to you or stop by here no matter where you are on your journey. If this is the first time it's ever crossed your mind, or if you've been 20 years in, 30 years in.
That's right.
Highs and lows.
That's right.
And you can help them on this journey of it.
That is exactly right. In all aspects of it, no matter where you are on your journey, if you're just thinking about, is this right for me, then when you call, we will talk through it and see if it's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Let's start with a user question. So the first one comes from a user that has some concerns about weight loss safety. Tell us a little bit about weight loss surgery, how it's changed over the years, and it's much more widely accepted. I know I remember rumors and scary stories you used to hear years ago.
Yes.
So fill us in on the safety.
So one of ours, when you're getting ready for surgery, one of the questions, because everybody meets with me before surgery, one of the questions is about hearing people say, oh, you had surgery, you took the easy way out, or didn't you have surgery, why'd you gain weight back? There was terrible thought process back in the day about having any kind of bariatric surgery. It's not that way now. Safety is paramount. That is one reason when we decided to become a bariatric facility, we wanted to be accredited. So folks go through a cardiac clearance, they have a sleep study, they have a site clearance, they see the dietitian, they come to support group. There's several steps that happen before a person is truly ready for surgery. It is not the surgeons laugh at me, but it's not wacka wacka and we're done with you and goodbye. We don't want that. We want that relationship to start. You are going to be much more successful being prepared for your surgery. Hence, warrior.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I almost hate to even go there, but some of these other locations, other countries, other places where it is a one-time in and
That's
out
right.
deal, it sounds dangerous to me, scary.
Right.
But also you don't have that journey. You don't have that continued support. It kind of scares me.
Very much so. So this facility and our surgeons, we are very, very blessed to have them because they have taken on patients who have gone out of the country to have surgery and who are having difficulty. And we have actually taken them on to help them. We sure have.
Absolutely. Everybody's got stories or maybe different things, but it is so different now and so much safer. So another question coming into us live on the Facebook Live. What options do I have if I don't want surgery? Maybe it's just the risks, maybe it's concerns, maybe it's family history, but you just don't want surgery. What other options are
Right.
there?
So I always tell everybody, we do support groups in El Dorado, Russellville, and Benton. All of our supports are also filmed. So the minute you become one of us, now we don't just, it's closed, but the minute you come to a support group, we will make sure that you get involved in that support group and you can watch it and you can be interactive with it, kind of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So once you get into the program, we will work with the bariatric dietitian. We also work with that surgeon. We get them into the support group. We meet, several of us meet and we walk. There's different things that we do. We've met at the grocery store and we read labels. We also do the social aspect and we go out to eat together to learn how can you order off of a menu.
That's hard.
We do those kind of things. So yes, there's definitely, surgery is not just the answer. That is correct. There's other options.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw out some advice from you as well. But first, I want to get a shout out to Arnie Schilling, one of the greatest life decisions I ever made.
Oh, yes. So Arnie lets me share his story. Thank
Okay.
you, Arnie. So
Excellent.
Arnie was in our program, and everything clipping along fine. And at the very last minute, his insurance would not let him have surgery here.
Okay.
So Arnie did go to a very, not out of the country, he went to
Right.
a very reputable hospital
Good.
and had his surgery, but he never left us. So he comes to support group once a month. He's very interactive, and actually he was one of our Warriors of the Quarter.
Oh my
And he did not even have
goodness.
his surgery here. He takes on, when a man walks in here, and you think it's a lot of women, but our men warriors are rocking it. I mean, rocking it. So, and Arnie is the first one to put his hand out. He puts that arm out, that hand out, because it is difficult if you feel like you're coming into this and you're in the minority as a man. Arnie makes sure that men and women, but he is very welcoming. And he didn't have his surgery here.
I
but
mean, I love
he
that.
believes in us. Yes.
And it just screams that you don't have to have your surgery here to
That's
be
right.
part of this warriors, the journey, the
That's right.
support group.
That's
so
right.
no more proof of that.
He is totally different. I've got pictures of him that are just phenomenal, how his whole life has totally changed. Yes. Yeah, he looks totally different.
So I want to go down
Health-wise.
that road a little bit. Why is it maybe harder for men or less men that go through the program?
The way it's going now, the men will at one point catch up with the women, because
Okay.
it was always, I can work out more. I can work out more. I can quit eating. And as we all know, when a man goes on a diet, they always lose weight faster. If you've ever been in competition with your spouse or whatever, they'll drop it really quick. But we also know that diets don't work.
Right.
And I think the men are finally learning that. It doesn't matter how much you try to work out. If you restrict your calories so much, you might lose weight, but it will come back on. It'll come back on. So, but the men are definitely catching up with the women here. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, good. And shout out to all the men out there. So another shout out, Denise Dempsey. She says, all of the Celine Memorial staff have gone above and beyond in every step of my journey. I'll never be able to thank you enough for giving me my life back.
And that is it. We tend to sometimes get weepy sometimes in support group and different areas, because it is so life-changing. There was some folks that couldn't even drive their vehicles anymore because they couldn't sit behind the wheel. They couldn't fit in their car. And now they can fit in their car. We have one warrior that literally for I don't know how many years was, I call them vrum vrums, was in a motorized wheelchair. He had a terrible accident at work and was in a motorized wheelchair. He had his surgery, has lost several pounds, and he walks now. He doesn't use it anymore. So the day he walked in here, I started getting all these phone calls saying, "You've got to get in here and see this." Warriors were calling me, "Get in here, get in here." I didn't really know what had happened. I got in, and there he stood, and he was walking.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
very powerful. Very
Absolutely.
powerful.
When you talk about quality of life, and maybe you have grandkids, but if you can't drive, you really can't participate in a lot of the things that they have going on.
Right. I know I'm talking to a lot of people who are sitting in the chair and thinking that there is no hope and there is no chance. And you can live your dreams and you can imagine a different life, because it does happen. It can happen. And it's happened for over 600 warriors that we have had in this program as we speak.
Well, and here's the challenge. If that's you, and we're looking at you right now, and you just feel hopeless, haven't been able to, this is your challenge. This is your opportunity to pick up the phone, and we'll share exactly how to do that in just a moment. But also, if that's not you, but you have a loved one that we are describing, share this video with them. Just nicely, kindly, either show it to them or share it in a message or on their Facebook, because they may need to hear this, see this, and it may not be as scary as they think it is when you see the smiling face that's going to say hi, and that you can do this and encourage you. You guys, that means so much.
That's
to
right.
This group.
You're not alone.
No.
And I know lots of times, and we love our docs. We love our PCPs. But sometimes what we hear is eat less and walk more. And now we know, data shows us, and that being overweight does not mean eat less, walk more. It is
Okay.
so much deeper than that. We need to be treating it like we do congestive heart failure, COPD,
Wow.
diabetes. It is considered a disability. So we need to be treating it like that. I heard a really good analogy. I want you to listen to me, a really good analogy. If you go to the ER and your child has burnt their finger, and if that doctor says to you as the parent, did you let him touch that? And you say no, and you go, well, I'm sure you did. I'm not treating you today. To me, that is just like saying to us as we gain our weight, well, you did it to yourself, so there's no help for you.
Oh.
So that's the kind of mentality we're trying to change. We're trying to get that changed.
But what a huge understanding for someone out there that maybe they've been ridiculed, maybe they've heard it so many times, just lose weight, just walk more, just eat
That's
less,
right. That's
and they're
right.
so beat down that they can't reach out and get help. That's who we're talking to today. I mean, this could be a huge step for you and huge life-changing opportunity. You're hearing from these people that have done it, that it really can change their life.
When you have lost weight over and over your whole life, you've lost some, gained back, lost some, gained back. After a while, it does take a toll on your personality, on your emotions,
Mental.
your head, everything, your family, everything about you. But when you hear these weight loss warriors who have been in your shoes have success, I think the number one thing we hear is, I wish I'd done it earlier.
Oh, wow.
I wish I hadn't waited so long to have this surgery or to get involved in this program. Where have you been my whole life is what we hear lots of times when they come in.
No one says, I wish I would have waited longer.
No, I do not hear that.
Not a thing. All right, another question from somebody joining us live is, can you join the support group even if you are or have not had surgery?
That a lot of our folks, I'm going to say probably, I don't know, maybe 30%
Okay.
of folks that come on a routine basis have never had surgery, nor do they plan to have surgery. Everybody has their own reasons. You are welcomed here. You are in this group just like everybody else is. So yes, absolutely, we want you.
I think that was one of the things that surprised me the most, because when I hear weight loss surgery and that's what you do here, I kind of assumed, I think that would be the case.
Right,
So I love how welcoming and open you guys are to anybody
Right.
that needs help.
right, and we are.
So when it comes to those people that maybe they have a New Year's resolution, maybe it's just 10, 15, 20 pounds, whatever it is, let's give them a little advice. They may not call you, they may not reach out.
Right.
But you didn't gain 10, 20 pounds overnight, so it's not going to go away overnight. How can we
Right.
help them out?
So one of the things that we really, really work on is not changing everything at once. If you change, okay, this is what I always hear, okay, I'm not going to drink Cokes today. I'm going to go walk 20 miles today. I'm going to drink a gallon of water. I'm not going to eat supper. You know what I'm talking about. We make all of these plans that this is what we're going to do. You plan one thing at a time. And what we really, really talk about here is a Mediterranean way of eating. It isn't scary. It's not buying weird food.
No.
It is buying fruits and vegetables and that type of thing. And the more people eat Mediterranean way of eating, the more that they really don't reach for the donuts and the snacks like that. We also say here that there's nothing off limits. It truly is nothing off limits, but as your body starts changing by eating Mediterranean way of eating and doing one thing at a time, you really don't reach for those anymore. When I started Mediterranean way of eating, I just started one piece of it, and that was I added fruit to every meal,
Okay.
no matter what. I added a fruit.
Easy
Breakfast,
enough.
just one thing,
add it.
right. And so that's how we teach it. Add one thing.
Okay.
If you decide to walk, you're not going to go walk 20 miles in one day.
No.
You are going to, as I started, I worked in Little Rock at the time, and at lunch, I walked out the back door and walked around to the front door, and that was
Oh,
that.
baby
And I just
steps.
kept doing it and kept doing it until I walk about 7 miles a week now. Like, you just average 7 miles
Yeah.
a week. I couldn't do that at first, so
Right.
it's just one baby step at a time.
Oh my goodness.
But you know, we all want it now. That's our
society.
that's right.
Instant
that's right.
gratification.
We want it now. But once you start seeing the changes, we have a wall in the back and it has belts on it.
Oh, I love it.
And now they're in competition on who has the longest belt that they've
Previously.
given me. Yes. So we have one that is over 6 feet long, and he's winning so far. And so so we love the belts because sometimes you can't get the tape measures around you, so you use your belt and you keep pushing that button, putting another hole, and I'm begging for the belts. I'm like, let me have your
Bring
belt
them
when you're
in.
done. So we have belts
I
hanging
saw
on the
that
wall.
photo of all the belts hanging. And
That's
what a
right.
great visual to say, look, that's not me anymore. I'm better.
That's exactly right.
Well, and with eating, I heard somebody say it once, if it has a mom or comes from the ground. I thought that was a really good way to
Yes,
go.
so
A little healthier.
that's true. So Mediterranean way of eating does state that red meat once a month is plenty.
Okay.
Now, a lot of us eat a whole lot more meat than that.
Right.
But it's really just paying attention to what are you getting in. We start on the basics here. Lots of times here in support room, we'll hand out different kinds of food products. And I ask everybody, okay, find the sodium. Where's the sodium in there? And it should be 1,500 milligrams a day, half a teaspoon of salt.
Ooh.
So what do we do every day? We are putting salt on what's already salted. So I always give them okay, this is your takeaway today. Just pay attention to your salt.
Okay,
See what you are getting in as salt today. And it has changed many lives that way. Yeah, just take one thing. But we'll take those labels. And I've always said, is it worthy of me? Is that food worthy of me today? And if that food is worthy of me today, if truly I want that food today, I will eat that food today. But if it's not worthy of me today,
Worthy of me. I
I'm
love
not doing
that.
it. Right. It's
That
got to
is
be
very-
worthy of me.
Very encouraging. That puts you value. Gives
That's
you
right.
value, and we all have value. So you have mentioned the doctors a little bit. Let's go ahead and
Oh.
talk about your doctors. Tell us a little
Yes,
bit about
so we're very, very blessed here at Selene. We have Dr. Lewis Porter. Now all 3 of our docs are also general surgeons,
Okay.
and they also work in the GI lab.
Okay.
So I know we're speaking about weight loss and
Right.
bariatrics, but they do several other things too. So we have Dr. Lewis Porter, we have Dr. Rex Luttrell, and then we have Dr. Kristen Patton. Dr. Patton is actually our medical director at this time, our
Okay.
bariatric medical director, and involved in policies. She has to do a little bit more behind the scenes.
Sure.
So,
But you got to have great docs to make all part of this process.
and when you do have surgery here and you go to the emergency room, or you call the on-call, it's so wonderful. You do not get hold of somebody who has no clue. You get hold of a surgeon who knows, because they're all bariatric surgeons. They all have a great relationship. They're all talking to each other. So if somebody comes in, they're on the phone to the surgeon if it's the other person's patient.
Right.
This person's come in. What can we do? What do you want me to do?
Very collaborative.
That's what goes on. Yes.
And that goes through this whole journey and the process, and
Yes.
the nurses and the dietitians and everybody that helps you guys out.
Yes.
So we have covered a lot of ground today. Hopefully you're not too overwhelmed. But if you have that feeling, that little voice that says, I need to do this, I need to take that first step, how can people get in touch with you?
Well, you can call. It's 501-574-7171. So that's the main bariatric line, and that's actually my telephone. So I will call you back. It might be later in the evening, but I will call you back. And then the other way is simply going onto our website, SeleneWeightLoss.org. And there's several ways that you could even put in an online inquiry. If you just want more information, when you do that, you're going to get an email back, and you will get a call back.
Wow. Let me
Yeah.
give that phone number one more time.
Sure. 501-574-7171.
And SeleneWeightLoss.org.
Yep, SeleneWeightLoss.org.
Let us be that little inspiration that you have today to go, okay, I'm just going to pick up the phone, or I'm going to get online, and I'm just going to ask and see what the answers are for me.
That's right.
Well, thank you so much for being here
You're
today.
welcome.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Well, this is my love, so I'm glad I'm here, and I hope to help whoever needs to email in or call us.
That's right. And if you know someone that needs to hear this or see this, like I said, just share this post with them. And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.